This program has been made possible by contributions from our viewers. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Drew. Welcome to the Beggars Woodshop. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are most welcome. Thank you for joining me here. And thank you for inviting me into your homes, laps, hands, well, just however you happen to be viewing this program. Welcome to you, our new subscribers, as well. Well, today's video... I did record it last time, for last month. But when I listened back to it and looked at everything... it just sounded like I was just rambling nonsense. Nothing was clean, clear, and I could have gone back to redo it, but it was late in the week. I needed the video out, and, well, I also ended up getting a small cold. Yeah, a little weird there. But then again, look at me now. It's May. Normally, if the temperatures are warm, I should be dressed for warm weather, and yet it's cold out. Weird. Well, enough of that rambling about nonsense and other things. Let's talk about this subject, ladies and gentlemen. A subject that I know is a bigger subject. There are a lot of things to be said. I think this is the best way to put it. So, I'm only going to give a small sample, just a small sample, of what people have said against the Shopsmith. Because I know there's a lot. I know there's a lot. I'll start with one that I've already answered. I answered it last year, really. And that is time. Oh, it takes too long to set up from this tool to that tool to that tool to that one over there. Now, where I agree with the idea of, okay, you're building something and you want to go from your bandsaw right next to the next tool, whatever it may be, like your lathe, let's say, and you don't want to take the time to set up. Actually, that's a bad example because with the Shopsmith, all I have to do is unconnect the Shopsmith headstock from the bandsaw, and I'm ready to go with the lathe. That was a bad example. But you get my point, ladies and gentlemen. You do. You get my point. Going from tool to tool to tool, people think it takes too long. Well, this link that you see up here in the corner, that will take you to a video I did about using the Shopsmith and how long it takes you to change from tool to tool to tool. Now, I admit, that is on a Mark V from 1954, which is what I have, often referred to as a Mark V 500, because it's easier to distinguish that machine. Because it basically, when they said, this is our Mark V 500, it was basically the same Mark V, but just with an updated motor, I believe. I should know, I did a history video. That's another one. So it doesn't take you that long to jump from tool to tool to tool, all right? Pretty straightforward. Let's talk about the table saw. People say that's inefficient. You jump to the table saw, you've got no infeed, and you got no outfeed. Well, if you're like me, and you got this old cast iron thing, yeah, it's true, you got no infeed or outfeed. There was an attachment to extend your miter fence, or your miter gauge, sorry. But I don't have that. I don't want it either. Down you go. Now, when they came out with the 510 and 520 table saw system, things improved. One, they actually did make an outfeed table separate that you could actually move up and down. You can still find them out there these days. But also, with the 510 and 520, you got floating tables. And floating tables allowed you to make your own in-feed and out-feed. You had to be careful. Make sure you line things up right and nothing interfered with your miter gauge. Now, let's admit it, people. How many times on a separate bandsaw or a separate, whatever, have you needed to use roller stands? So come on. It's not that difficult to figure out. It's the same concept. If you have a really long piece of stock, right? You just make something, or you use the tables. It's the same concept. I just realized why I just realized now. That's stupid of me. But you get my point, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure there are arguments to talk about power. Okay, well, that's been improved over the years. The main reason a Shopsmith existed when it was created was so the average consumer could have all those great tools in a smaller space at a cost they could afford. Okay? Now, that's something I don't want to talk about because I have not fully done the research, and you have to remember nowadays we have the used market for both Shopsmith and any other tool this has on it that you could buy separately. Okay, the used market, no matter how you look at the used market, be it you buy a Shopsmith or you buy that separate table saw, bandsaw, etc., and so forth, you're going to have to invest. So, comparison of prices brand new, I have not yet done the research, and I should have. But that is also an argument for another time. Now, one last piece of argument that I want to mention. I heard a woodworker say to me, when I mentioned the Shopsmith, he said, it's good for hobbyists. Strangely enough, he was a hobbyist himself. He's very good at what he does. I've seen his work. It's wonderful. I actually do have a piece of his work in the house. But he's a hobbyist. I'm a hobbyist. How many people who have woodworking stuff in their garage or in a shed are hobbyists? Sure, we all try to make a profit making stuff. Sure, I still haven't sold my bowls. I don't know why no one wants to buy them. Hopefully someone will soon. And, come on. Are you going to tell me a professional does not use a Shopsmith? I think it's part of what he was trying to insinuate. But I've got proof that that is wrong. I do, ladies and gentlemen. I have absolutely positive proof. And many of you know who I'm talking about because I've actually mentioned him before. I mentioned him in a community post. Norm Abram, host of the New Yankee Workshop, has indeed used Shopsmith. He used the lathe and lathe duplicator. He used it as a horizontal boring machine. At one episode, I think he used it with the drum sander attachment. He has used the planer. He has used the belt sander. And the DC 3300 dust collection system. In the end credits, if you watch those first at least 4 seasons, it says, thanks to, and Shopsmith name scrolls up with the other tools. And in season 5, they're not mentioned, but he's clearly using the DC 3300 in several episodes. Come on. A professional, a master craftsman, a carpenter, a professional carpenter. You want to tell me professionals don't use these things? Yeah, right. Now, there are, I'm sure, more arguments that people have made about these things. And I'd like to hear your comments on that, ladies and gentlemen, down below. I want to hear what people have told you, or that you've heard, or you've heard people say at demonstrations. Okay, because I know a lot of people who do the demonstrations, they'll hear those arguments against Shopsmith. I want to hear what some of your arguments are and where you think those arguments come from. Because I've got a few theories where I think some of these arguments come from. Because I'm sure these arguments have been made for at least 2 generations. And some of those arguments have been the same as they were the first generation they were made. But we could talk about that a little later on. So yeah, leave a comment down below. And while you're leaving a comment down below, ladies and gentlemen, why don't you go ahead, if you like this video, to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell icon, and help this channel grow. I'm not quite yet at my goal of tripling my subscriber count to 600 and, what was it? 663, 667, something like that. Yeah, because I started with in January, and I really wanted to triple my subscriber count by the time we got to the end of this year. Well, we haven't even doubled yet, but the numbers have gone up really well, and I've been very pleased and very thankful to each and every single one of you. And if you also want to contribute in other ways, besides sharing and letting people know what it is I do here, if you want to contribute with tools that you think I might need, leave a comment down below. I do get back to you. I do reply, be it a thumbs up or writing some kind of text or both. Tools I might need here in the shop, because I'm a beginner shop, people. I'm trying to get this channel growing. But if you want to contribute financially, there's a GoFundMe campaign. The link is in the description. Just click Show More. Unless you're on a television, I know some of you viewers are, and I understand, I like viewing these things on a TV too, in which case you'll have to pull out your phone, tablet, smart device, whatever, or go onto a computer or laptop and find this video, click the Show More, and you'll follow the link to the GoFundMe to help raise funds. I'm trying to upgrade the Shopsmith to a Power Pro, get a few additional tools for the Shopsmith and accessories, as well as some materials so I can start making things that I can start not only selling, but also selling the plans for to you, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to run this like a business. I would like to run this like my inspiration, the New Yankee Workshop. So please, if you could contribute in any way, shape, or form, that would be most wonderful from all of you. All right. I'm going to wrap this video up before I start rambling. I've got to finish a project that is actually on the workbench right now. Will be coming out in, let's see, this is May. It will come out in June. I do have another video coming out middle of this month. It'll be 2 weeks. It'll be a Friday, and you'll get to see it. It's actually the conclusion of our radial arm saw. Strangely enough, we got asked about it right as I was finishing the filming. So please, like, comment, subscribe, share, and hopefully I will see you next time, right here on the Beggars Woodshop.